Hey guys, what's going on? This is your girl, Model E, of course, of the E and Friends podcast. Thank you for tuning into another bi-weekly episode with your girl. So, guys, what is going on? Before I answer that question, okay, I want you guys to continue to follow me on the show on Instagram at E and Friends Pod and on Twitter at Erica Jones with the Z on the end. ladies, we all got to come together, brothers. We all got to come together. We all got to do this together because at this point right now, I really feel like they playing with us. They're toying with us. They're trying to take everything away from us, whether it's with this Roe versus Wade, the politics. And y'all know I don't like to talk politics and religion, but today, on this show today, we're going to get into a little bit of it because I feel we got to have these conversations about this because they need to know, and they is the one that's who are making the decisions. They need to know that we matter. We have a say that goes on in this world that pertains to us. Okay. So, for all you new listeners out there, thank you. I appreciate you. I hope that you continue to tell a friend about Model E, Erica, whatever y'all want to call me. It's all good. So thank you. And I want to go ahead and first of all, this episode is going to be a Q&A for Model E. I have had a few questions. People ask me some questions. And so I'm going to, answer some of those questions with you guys today on the show. And I'll announce that later. All right. So before I go ahead and get into my little rant with this politics, I'm going to start off with the question and answer. Okay. So my first listener asked a question, and it is, I am in my last year of college. What advice would you give to someone like me entering into the workforce? Well, I'm not going to call any names because a lot of these they wanted to, just remain anonymous. They love my show, they listen to it, and I appreciate it so much, guys. Appreciate it. So, sweetie, you are in your last year of college. First of all, congratulations, because a lot of us don't make it that far. It's a whole, it's a cold, hard world out there. So I understand and I'm happy with all the efforts that you made and the sacrifices that you made to continue to go through college, even with the whole pandemic and everything. I know it has been hard. So congratulations on maintaining and finishing your education. So what advice would I give you, someone who's entering into the workforce? I'm going to just come out and say it. It's not easy. Even when you get into your career years down the line, it's not going to be easy because we are living in a world now where we're learning. It's like we are being thrown out there and we are being fed to the wolves. And so you have to be strong, you have to be positive, and you have to understand and be in a clear mental state that this is life. Like now you have to take care of yourself. You have to do what you have to do. So hopefully whatever school that you went to, that they may have a program that will help you get into like an internship or actually find you a job. If that is if those resources are available to you, I highly suggest that you use your resources because that is going to help you and give you the upper leg because it's a lot of competition. I'm not sure which state that you're living in and what did you do when you went to college. I wish I knew that information. What was your major? What did you finish in? Because that makes a difference as well. Someone like me, I've been finished college ever since 2007. And am I working in my career? No, I'm not. I turned out to do my own marketing and my own business for my own company years later. But I had this big goal in my head that I wanted to be this big marketing and advertising rep, executive. I wore my nice clothes. I had my nice my briefcase, my high heels and stuff, but that's the type of person I am. So that was the type of environment that I wanted to work in. And I'm a person who I don't mind talking to people, but for those of you who out there listen, be like, Eric, come on, you don't like, I do. I like people, but I don't like people. But when it comes to my business, it is different, you guys. Okay. So don't even do me like that. So I don't want to hear you guys on social media talk about, you don't like, I love people. Okay. I don't know why y'all keep doing. So that's why I have to state my claim, because some of you guys know me so well. And I just got to state my claim because others out there looking and like, really? So I got to protect myself. Okay. So yes, sweetie. I think you're just going to have to work hard, be smart, and remember that everything is a game and you have to play the game smart. Okay. Just be yourself. Don't be anybody that you're not. You go into something with a strong head and, with understanding that you will make it through, but just do you, be creative, because, right now this world is about all creativity. We have the social media, the internet is just going crazy with a whole bunch of stuff. And you just have to be creative in order to make it in today's world, because it is hard out here for a lot of us. So you don't want to, put yourself in a situation to where you are just, barely making it or living from paycheck to paycheck, because it's hard, it's different. So that are some of the things that I can give you, as an advice. And I hope that you do well within your career and continue to listen to the show and keep asking me questions. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So moving on to the next question. And this is also from one of my listeners. She actually put international listeners. So I like that. Thank you for all my international listeners out there. I appreciate you guys. So this question is, podcasting is like public speaking. How do you overcome that fear when you are speaking to your audience? Because I am an avid listener to your podcast. Wow. And then this is from a female, of course. Well, thank you so much for listening to my podcast. I am appreciated by all the listeners that I have all over the world, not just within the United States, internationally as well. So this girl right here is international. And yes, doing a podcast is basically like public speaking. Some of you guys know the backstory. This is not something that I wanted to do. I'd rather just sit in the background and just sit, listen, or whatever. I never wanted to be in front of the mic, and definitely not in front of a camera doing the podcast. So those of you who've been listening for a very long time, you know that it took me a while to get to this point, to get in front of this camera. But I felt like I had to do that in order to grow my life and improve what I have going on for you guys to get me to the next level. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell you guys a story about public speaking. When I was in college, I remember I had to do my first public speaking class, and I was trying to figure out what could I talk about. I didn't want to do anything too hard. I didn't want to do anything too easy, but at the same time, I wanted to do something that I know about. So it's always easy to talk about something that you know about, right? So it's kind of hard to just wing things. And sometimes you will have to wing it, because I do on the E Friends podcast, I'll wing it. But as I was taking a class, and I got video. So they done a video. I had this cassette tape. Yes, cassette. Okay, this was back in the early 2000s, guys. Remember that. And so my public speaking thing that I did was how to make muffins. And it was muffins out of the box, the little blue Jiffy box muffins, because that was something that I knew how to do. I saw my grandmother used to take that, and then she used to mix it and with everything else to make it all nice and homemade. But for me, I follow the directions of the box, with the eggs, the milk, and then, you pour in the powder from out the box and you mix it up and everything. And I remember doing, and guys, I was so nervous. And I said, I don't ever want to do anything like that again. I was just so nervous. But then as the years go by, I realized that speaking in public, it helps you. It helps calms your nerve. And about nerves, I get nervous almost every time I do something. It doesn't matter how many times I do it. I always get a little nervousness, in my body. And a lot of times how I overcome my nervousness, because I am truly an introvert, what I do is I talk. That's what I do. I talk. So people can say, oh, Erica, you're such a great talker. You have a great voice and you're just not afraid to talk to people. And I'm like, that is one of the ways that I get my fear over talking is I actually have a conversation. So that's what I do. So yeah, it's definitely like public speaking. And you have to get in your mind, like just pretend that you're talking to this whole big audience. You're walking around, you have your mic on your head, and you're just preaching to the choir. That's what it is. And once you do that, it'll become more natural to you and it won't bother you as much. But in my opinion, I will always have a little butterfly in my tummy, but it goes away very shortly. But I think everyone is different. Some people can just get up on stage and start a riot, and that's not me. For me to do that, it would have to be something that's required me to do, but I'm not going to go and start a show. So I appreciate you listening to the podcast, and remember to tell your friends, tell your friends about me and everything. And if you have any more questions to ask Model E, just go ahead and send them in. You know how to do it. So thank you. All right, so I have 2 more questions. This question, I am actually going to call this listener out, and this listener name is Artisha. She actually has a podcast, and it is called Artisha, the Mindset Midwife. Okay, it's a story behind that, and she has a book out right now called The Patient Wearing Lipstick. I haven't read it yet, but I got it. I'm trying to finish another book, guys. Okay, but from the title and what she says, it sounds very interesting. So I'm very excited to read it. So Artisha asks, when did you start your locks? How has your overall natural hair journey been? Great question. Y'all know I love touching my hair and doing all type of stuff like this because I think I'm cute, okay? I love my locks. Let me tell you guys something. I wanted locks in my hair for a couple of years now, and I never got up the nerves to actually get them. And the reason why I really didn't got up the nerves is because I really thought that my hair couldn't tolerate it, because I have very, very soft, fine hair. I don't have a lick of coarse hair in this thing, okay? So, my husband got it, and then my son got it, and I started doing their hair, and it, promoted me to want to do it, get it more within myself. So, I wouldn't let somebody do mine. I'm not bold enough to do it myself. So I went to a loctician and had them to do it. And I'll say probably about for the first 4 or 5 months, I went through what they call the ugly phase, and which is, I hate that they really say that because it's not really ugly. You just look a little bit like Celie from The Color Purple. Okay, if y'all know what The Color Purple is, but you just look a little bit like that, a little harsh, a little rough on the edges. And that was my only issue. Shockingly, my hair did so great, but I did not wash my hair for a good 2-3 months, to be honest. And within starting that from second through the 6th month, it was a very light wash, nothing heavy, because we was afraid that my twist would come out. I would have to go and get a retwist like every 2 weeks ever since I started. And then probably about my 8 months, I was able to be free a little bit. I didn't have to get a retwist as often every 2 weeks. I went like every 3 to 4 weeks and got a retwist. Hair still was doing fine. Okay. One story, I had went to the water park a few months ago, and that was the first time me ever getting my hair wet outside of going to my loctician and getting it done. First time getting my hair, I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get my hair wet. I don't want my hair to get messed up, but I have faith. Nothing's going to happen to my babies. So went to the water park. Guess what? We here. We made it. We did it. Perfect. And once that happened, and that was at 10 months. And once that happened, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and start thinking, okay, for my year, I think I'm going to treat my hair. I think I'm going to get color on my hair. And so that's when I decided to do the color. And this was like a little over a month ago. I think it came out great. I have a little two-tone in it. I love it. My hair is growing so much, and it's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect for me. Everybody else who I come in contact with, they're loving my locks. So thank you, Artisha. That has been my overall hair journey. I am looking forward to these things getting longer, and I probably won't get them no more past my shoulders, but I am looking forward to continuing this journey because I love it. It's a wonderful thing. So thank you for listening and sending in your question. So the last question for today is going to be, this is a pretty long one. So let me read this one. Hi, E. Hi. Thank you for keeping me in the know on your show. I don't know how you do it. I recently started listening to you and your husband podcast, Life and Love. Life and Love, guys, sidebar, is a podcast that my husband and I, Sean, does weekly on Thursdays. And you can find it on Spreaker. It's on the Got What You Need network. So we do a Life and Love podcast about, just things that happen within a relationship of marriages and stuff like that. So she said, I love it. Thank you. It gives me hope for my future. I want to know, how do you juggle with having 2 kids, being a full-time podcaster, and staying beautiful? Oh, thank you. I am having my first child in 4 months, and my husband and I just recently got married a year ago. Please help. Oh, sweetie. Girl, you have a whole lot going on. I'm just going to tell you that. But I appreciate you listening to the show. I appreciate you listening to the Life and Love podcast as well. We try to make things fun, and we kind of give you our insights of things, what worked for us and what really didn't. So I'm glad that you appreciate it. And so you just got married, so therefore you are still in your honeymoon stage as well. I think we just got out of our honeymoon stage, basically, but you can say we still at that honeymoon stage, But yeah, so you're definitely still in your honeymoon stage. Congratulations on that. Congratulations on the little one, which you will be dropping that very soon. I hope that you got your notebook, your pencil, your paper, whatever, so you can make a full schedule, because you're gonna need it, mommy, okay? Let's just say, being a wife, being a mother is hard work, okay? I must say, it's hard work, because you gotta think of appointments probably for everybody. You gotta clean, you gotta make sure everybody eats, you gotta make sure everybody has clean clothes, you gotta do all that stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's wrong. It's not a bad thing. It's good, but it's a mentality with that too. You gotta have a good, strong mental because it's a lot of things going through your head. It's a lot of things as a mother we have to remember. So I remember on both of my pregnancies, look, I felt like I had a little bit of Alzheimer's. You hear me? Yes, I said a little bit of Alzheimer's because I used to leave my oven on, like completely cut my oven on, forget that I cut it on about to cook something because I'm constantly moving around in the house doing something else and forgot that I have the oven. Nothing is in it, but I just forgot that I cut it on because you're constantly moving. So it was brought up to me, trust me, a few times by my husband. And he was like, okay, you need to get this together because you can't be burning the house down and stuff like that. So I have to learn to take it easy, slow down, and kind of complete one task at a time because if not, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to forget things. Okay. So keep that in mind. No burning the house down. So staying beautiful. Oh, girl, that is not an easy task. But someone asked me the other day, what type of makeup do you wear? You know what I told them? Natural Beauty by E. No makeup. I don't use no makeup. Only thing I drink is water. So this is a natural melanin over here, you guys. It's very natural. I don't wear no makeup. So I am blessed. But if I do have to put it on for a certain occasion, I will. But for the most part, I am not, makeup person. I am consider myself to be very natural, and there's nothing wrong with makeup or anything, but it just takes too much damn time. I don't have the time for that. I'm a moving person, so I'm always over the place, and I just don't have time to put on makeup before I go somewhere. That's one of the reasons why. And also my grandmother told me to stop wearing makeup because I would be old before my time. So that sticked in my head too. So that's probably why I don't wear a lot of makeup. Yes. So thank you. Thank you for listening to the show. Continue to listen. Congratulations on your newly marriage and congratulations on your new bundle of joy that you're about to get. Just stay beautiful, be positive about everything in life. Just make it easy. Make your life easy. Make love easy. If you guys keep communication with each other, thing will be fine. If the communication is not there, you guys need to get it there because once the baby comes, that's a whole different element that just opened up. And whether kids, they're wonderful, they're beautiful, but it's a whole different element. So you two have to be on the same page. Okay. You have to be on the same page. And so I think communication, actually listening to each other, making adjustments, not one person can make adjustment. Both people have to make adjustments. You have to come to agreements and conclusions that, okay, this we're not going to do. This, okay, I can do this, but this we will not do. So you will have to go and make those changes and stuff like that, and just have a conversation and just be happy, have fun in your relationship. When that baby comes, just take lots of pictures, just do a whole lot of little stuff and just create those memories, just have fun. Okay. All right, guys. So this has been the Q&A for Model E. And before I end the show, because this podcast is bi-weekly and I don't want another 2 weeks to go by, I want to get into the conversation of the Roe versus Wade. We all know recently, well, when you see this, it'll be probably about almost a week that they overturned Roe versus Wade. And for our rights as a woman, we have like a window like this, so a lot of the states, many states are, abortions are illegal. So many women, if you do want to get an abortion, you will have to travel to a state that is actually performing it. And so there were lots of conversations that I heard like on the radio one Sunday morning. And I was really in tune with it. Normally, the whole politics and religion thing, I'm not into. But when it comes down to women, our rights, especially our reproductive system, I think that is at least the one thing we should have control of. If we say, hey, I don't want to have this baby, I think we should have a right to say, I don't want to have this baby. I always felt that if a woman gets pregnant, or whether it's on purpose, or if it's, maybe she had got raped or something like that, a lot of times you don't want to go through that, because that's a traumatic experience, and you're going to have to see that child, all your life. That's going to be your child. And you might constantly just think about how that happened. So I can see if you don't want to have a kid after that, that's my opinion. But I think we should all have a right to say yes or say no. And I really don't think that government should control that for us. And I think all this is going to lead to getting abortions done the wrong way, doing things in the alleys. How some people go and get these Brazilian butt lifts and stuff. You get all these injections in your butt and they're not right. These things can lead to very serious health conditions. Sometimes they can even result in death. So we don't want to have to go that route. So I was listening to a conversation, and this one guy, oh my God, what was his name? It was something Valentine. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to see if I can find his name. I can't get it. I'm sorry. Warren Valentine. That's what it is. Warren Valentine. He actually has a podcast. He's a radio personality, and he was having a conversation, and someone called in to the station, and they said, what can we do as regular individuals at home listening and seeing all this? What can we do to help? So of course he said it was 3 things that you can do to help. The first thing was make sure you vote. Vote in your primary, your locals. Those stuff matters. And speaking of that, ever since I've been with my husband for the past 14 years, he has always told me you need to vote in the primaries. The small things is what really matters. Those people who you get in there is what matters. Not the president, really. It's the things that happen on a local level. And I never really understood that. So a couple years later, I started doing it. But now I realize with everything that's going on, with abortions and all this racism and everything that's happening, it matters, people. So we get out there and vote. Vote, vote, vote. I know we say there's no need to vote. It's not going to make no difference. Well, I don't know them people. You can't be like that. How you do research on everything else, you must research on your locals. Okay. So please vote in your local area, your primaries, those small little people, they really matter. Okay. They matter to us. The second thing he said that we can do, he said we can really voice our opinion and say, we can have how many babies we want to have. We're going to have babies. Now, listen, not meaning go out and get pregnant and have a baby. We're going to pretend, okay? We're going to pretend, and we're going to say that because by saying that, it will give them some boost and let them know that, hey, these people are really not playing. Let's go ahead and stop this mess. So we got to talk about it. We got to be boastful about it and say, hey, this is our bodies. We can do whatever we want to do. We should have a right. And the third thing was just protect yourself, protect your family, protect your investment. As Black people, many of our ancestors, our parents, our grandparents, they went through this stuff. And a lot of people like Martin Luther King, they stood up for us, Rose Parks, they stood up for us to have all these certain things. And basically we got to kind of protect that. So I think more and I'm talking about Black American, we should be able to stand with each other a little more than what we do. You know, we say we support each other, we are sisters and brothers, but in reality, we're really not. We're really not. We're constantly fighting each other over nothing. We're killing each other over nothing. And we should stop. We should stop doing that, because we got to be united. We got to stand up. We got to protect everything we have. Because if you're not noticing, if you are living under a rock, you notice that we come close to getting certain stuff, it gets shut down. Because if it gets shut down, then the others will continue to have all the power. And we can't allow that. We got to have some type of power. So it's time for us to get on the wagon and do what we got to do. You know, like, we've been falling off for a very long time. It's time for us to get together, stay together, because if we got to protect ourselves, because we got a very small window here, and we got to take those risks, and we got to work together, and we got to keep, you know, what's ours. We got to do that. So I can't even believe that I'm saying all this, guys, because y'all know how I feel about this. But I felt like I had to have a conversation about this, because it's just too much going on. And then also with the abortion and everything, even down to the physicians, they are not able to, you know, provide services that they told their patients that they would do. You know, as physicians, you know, you have that confidentiality. You're supposed to protect them and, you know, make sure that they're, you know, doing everything that they can in their powers to help you and make you feel comfortable. And they can't do that no more, especially for those states that are illegal. They can't do that anymore. So it kind of puts them in a situation as well. But and everyone just, you know, stay positive about everything. Y'all know positive, my favorite word. Positive is my favorite word. I love it. And we just got to do what we got to do. We got to stick together. We got to vote in these your local area elections. We just got to get out there. We got to protect our investments, man. We got to get out there and we got to take risks, because if not, the window is going to be shut and we're going to be left with nothing. And then what are we going to do then? Okay. So that has been a little education in there. Fill your little knowledge basket up. But anyway, I am going to end this conversation. I had a great conversation answering all of you guys' questions for my listeners. Thank you. I appreciate it. I wish all of you the best of luck in all your endeavors and things like that. And let's work hard, people. Let's work together. All right. All right, guys. So you guys, thank you for tuning to the E and Friends podcast. I am your host, your girl, ModelE.